And the last pedal in this video, of course, is the Devil from my company, Obsidian Audio, and I can hear you rolling your eyes right now like, of course you're gonna use your overdrive. Yeah, I am. There's some design philosophy in the Devil overdrive that I want to point out here that I think brings us sort of into the modern age of the JCM800 and more of like what people are doing. This is the way I normally have this boost set up. This is a Tube Screamer style boost, but it has a lot more output than the Tube Screamer. So we're gonna hit the front of this amp a lot harder than we did with the Tube Screamer, but there's also some like EQ and some filtering going on. I'll explain that here in a second. This is what it sounds like. The reason that I really like this combination of things is I think you can get the classic sort of thrash metal tone with it, right? I mean, we're basically boosting this amp with a Tube Screamer type circuit, but one of the things that I wanted in the Devil was the ability to cut the low end, which is what that girth knob is there. So you see when that's all the way to the left, it's actually cutting the low end coming into the pedal from the guitar, and then I'm adding it back in with that bass. And it just cleans up the low end quite a bit. So if we go back to neutral with this and we turn the girth up all the way, which is essentially neutral. Versus something like this. We get that low bottom end, but it's like filtered in a way that's not woofy. Now there's a lot of different pedals that do this stuff. This pedal is sort of based off the concept of a lot of modern overdrives, which is why I wanted to use it, because I can essentially demonstrate 3 different things here. So that low end cut filtering sort of thing is in a lot of modern overdrive style pedals, like the Mud Killer, for example, does that really well. Also, this was designed by Daniel over at Reissue Audio, so that is inherent in a lot of his pedals. You know, it's his circuit design, the way he did it on this one. I feel like there's a lot of pedals that do that really well. Another thing I want to do here is if we dial this thing in something more like this. We do get more of sort of like quacky, mid-rangey gent sort of thing here. And then lastly, let's dial in something like that so we can get some of the gain character from the pedal. And that's where we are in the modern era. There are so many different options now, so many pedals out there that do such a different variety of things. And I think the JCM800 is still such a great amplifier because it gives a platform for all of these different pedals. Not only the Devil by my company, Obsidian Audio, again, you know, you can check that out in the description if you want to, but there's a ton of boutique builders out there doing really cool stuff. And you know, a lot of this stuff is based off the backbones of those older, like the Tube Screamers and the SD1s and all of those pedals. So I think it's cool, and I just wanted to pay some respect to that.